Imagine this, you see a beautiful bird, its feathers a riot of color. You're mesmerized. The bird is perched on a branch, its vibrant plumage catching the sunlight, making it look almost magical. You can't help but feel drawn to it, wanting to get closer, to see it in more detail. It's a moment of pure wonder, a connection with nature that feels almost spiritual, but the closer you get, the more frantic it becomes. The bird starts to shift uneasily, its eyes darting around as it senses your approach. You can see the tension in its body, the way it tenses up, ready to take flight at any moment. It's a delicate balance, this dance between curiosity and fear. It flutters, trying to escape. Its wings beat rapidly, creating a blur of motion as it tries to put distance between itself and you. The once serene scene is now filled with a sense of urgency and panic. The bird's instinct to flee overrides its previous calm, and you can feel the shift in the air. You chase after it, desperate for a closer look. Your steps quicken, your heart races, and your focus narrows to just the bird. It's almost as if nothing else exists in that moment. The chase becomes all-consuming, a single-minded pursuit that blinds you to everything else around you. But the chase only pushes it further away. The more you try to close the gap, the more the bird accelerates, its flight becoming more erratic and desperate. It's a futile effort, a chase that seems to have no end. The distance between you and the bird grows, and with it, a sense of frustration and helplessness. That's what happens when we chase after someone's attention. We think that by trying harder, by being more persistent, we'll eventually get what we want. But often, the opposite is true. Our efforts to get closer only serve to push them further away, creating a gap that feels insurmountable. We become like that frantic bird, our desperation pushing away the very thing we desire. Our actions, driven by a need for validation, become counterproductive. Instead of drawing people in, we repel them with our intensity. It's a harsh reality, but one that we must acknowledge if we are to break the cycle. Think about it. Have you ever wanted someone more when they were playing hard to get? It's human nature. The allure of the unattainable is a powerful force. When someone is just out of reach, it triggers a desire within us to close that gap, to win them over. It's a game of cat and mouse where the thrill is in the chase. The more unavailable someone seems, the more we crave their validation. It's a paradox, but one that plays out time and time again. We find ourselves drawn to those who seem indifferent, who don't readily give us the attention we seek. It's a challenge, and we rise to it, often to our own detriment. But like the bird, people can sense desperation. They can feel the weight of our expectations, the pressure we place on them to fulfill our needs. It's an uncomfortable feeling, one that makes them want to retreat, to put distance between themselves and us. Desperation is a heavy burden, and no one wants to carry it. It's like a repellent, pushing them away. The more we try to hold on, the more they pull back. It's a natural response, a way to protect themselves from the intensity of our emotions. We may not realize it, but our actions are driving them away, creating a barrier that becomes harder to break through. So, the harder you chase, the further they run. It's a vicious cycle, one that leaves both parties feeling frustrated and unfulfilled. The more we push, the more they pull away until the gap between us feels impossible to bridge. It's a lesson in futility, a reminder that sometimes less is more. The more you beg for attention, the less interested they become. It's a harsh truth, but one that we must accept if we are to change our approach. Begging for attention only serves to highlight our insecurities, making us appear needy and unattractive. It's a turnoff, and it pushes people away. Chasing creates a vicious cycle. It feeds into our insecurities, making us feel even more desperate and unworthy. The more we chase, the more we reinforce the belief that we are not enough, that we need someone else's validation to feel complete. It's a never-ending loop, one that leaves us feeling empty and defeated. It stems from insecurity and feeds into it, leaving you feeling emptier and them feeling suffocated. So, what's the alternative? Instead of chasing, we need to focus on ourselves, on building our own sense of worth and confidence. When we are secure in who we are, we no longer feel the need to chase after others. We attract them naturally, through our own strength and self-assurance. It's a shift in mindset, but one that can make all the difference. Instead of chasing, focus on detachment. This means letting go of the need to control outcomes and trusting the process. It's about finding peace within yourself and allowing things to unfold naturally. This isn't about playing games or pretending to be indifferent. It's about shifting your energy from a place of neediness to a place of self-sufficiency. Imagine a light switch. When you flip it on, you illuminate the room. Similarly, when you shift your energy, you illuminate your life. When you're chasing, the switch is flipped on, frantically searching for an external source of energy. This creates a sense of urgency and desperation, which can be exhausting and unfulfilling. But when you detach, you flip the switch within yourself. You find a calm and centered place where you are no longer dependent on external validation. This inner peace allows you to navigate life with grace and confidence. You become your own source of light, radiating confidence and self-assurance. This inner glow attracts positive experiences and people into your life, creating a cycle of positivity and growth. This shift is subtle yet powerful. It's not about making drastic changes to your actions, but rather about changing the energy behind those actions. It's about being mindful and intentional with your energy. It's about choosing yourself, prioritizing your own well-being, and investing your energy in things that truly fulfill you. Pursue your passions, nurture your relationships, and take time for self-reflection. These activities help you stay grounded and connected to your true self, and cultivate a life that brings you joy. When you focus on what makes you happy, you naturally attract more of it into your life. Joy becomes a magnet for more joy. When you focus on your own growth, something incredible happens. You become magnetic. People are drawn to your positive energy and self-assuredness. They want to be around you because you inspire and uplift them. You attract people into your life not by chasing them, but by being the best version of yourself. This is the power of shifting your energy. It's about becoming a beacon of light that naturally draws others in, creating meaningful and fulfilling connections. Remember that person you were chasing, the one who seemed so confident and in control? When you stop chasing, you disrupt their pattern. They're used to your attention, your constant validation. Suddenly that validation is gone. They're left wondering, why isn't he or she chasing me anymore? Their confidence, which was often a facade masking their own insecurities, begins to crumble. They might initially enjoy the break from your attention, but soon, a seed of doubt is planted. They start questioning their own attractiveness, their hold over you. The game has changed, and they're no longer in control. This confusion is the first step towards their own shift in perspective. It cracks the foundation of their ego and opens up a space for introspection. As they grapple with their confusion, a strange thing happens. They start thinking about you more than ever. Your absence creates a void, a space that their ego is desperate to fill. They remember your good qualities, the things they initially found attractive. They might even start romanticizing the past, focusing on the positive aspects of your interactions. This is the birth of obsession. It stems from a place of insecurity, a fear of losing something they once took for granted. They're no longer indifferent to your presence or absence, they're hyper-aware of it. Their social media feeds become a source of constant scrutiny. They analyze your every post, trying to decipher your emotional state. They might even reach out to mutual friends, fishing for information about you. Section 5. Testing the waters. Their first tentative steps back. This is a delicate phase where emotions are raw and every action is laden with meaning. The more they think about you, the more their perspective shifts. Memories flood back and they start to see things in a new light. They start to miss your presence in their life, the way you made them feel. The laughter, the shared moments, the comfort of your company. Their initial confidence gives way to uncertainty. Doubts creep in, and they wonder if reaching out is the right move. This is when they start making small moves to re-enter your life. A casual text message, carefully crafted to seem nonchalant. A like on your Instagram post. It's a subtle way of saying, I'm still here, thinking about you. An invitation to a group event. They hope to see you in a familiar setting, surrounded by mutual friends. They're testing the waters, gauging your reaction. Each move is a step towards understanding where they stand with you. These attempts might be subtle, even unintentional. They might not even realize the significance of their actions. They might not even realize they're doing it. It's almost instinctual, a way to bridge the gap that is formed. But deep down, they're hoping for a response. A sign that you're still interested. Every notification brings a mix of hope and anxiety. These tentative steps are crucial. They represent a willingness to reconnect, to rebuild what was lost. They signify a shift in power dynamics. The balance of the relationship begins to change as both parties navigate this new terrain. The chaser has become the chased, and the one who was once pursued now holds the reins. It's a delicate dance, one that requires patience and understanding. Section 6. The power of choice. letting go to reclaim control. This is the moment you've been waiting for. You've detached, focused on yourself, and inadvertently triggered a shift in their behavior. You're no longer chasing after their attention, they're seeking yours. But here's the catch, you now have a choice. You can either entertain their advances, allowing them back into your life, or you can choose to walk away. This choice is incredibly empowering. It signifies that you're no longer attached to the outcome. You're not desperate for their validation. You're simply open to the possibility of connection. This doesn't mean you should play games or make them suffer. It's about recognizing your own worth and making choices that align with your own happiness. Section 7. The magnetism of detachment, embracing your worth. When you detach from the outcome, you embrace your own worth. You stop seeking validation from external sources and cultivate it from within. This inner confidence is what makes you truly magnetic. It radiates outwards, drawing people to you effortlessly. They're attracted to your self-assurance, your ability to be content with or without them. This isn't about playing hard to get, it's about being genuinely okay with any outcome. It's about knowing that your happiness doesn't depend on another person's attention or affection. This inner peace is irresistible. It's what sets you apart from the frantic energy of chasing and creates space for genuine connection. Section 8. A new paradigm, from scarcity to abundance. The psychology of attraction is often rooted in scarcity. We chase after what we perceive to be limited, whether it's attention, affection, or validation. But when you detach, you shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. You recognize that you are worthy of love and connection, regardless of any one person's actions. This shift in perspective changes everything. You stop seeing the world through a lens of lack, and start seeing the endless possibilities that surround you. You open yourself up to new connections, new experiences, and new ways of experiencing love. You realize that your worth doesn't diminish when someone doesn't reciprocate your feelings. Section 9. The ultimate question. What will you choose? So the next time you find yourself chasing after someone's attention, remember the bird and the butterfly. Remember that true connection cannot be forced. It must be nurtured with patience, respect, and a healthy dose of detachment. Focus on your own growth, cultivate your own happiness, and watch as the universe conspires to bring you the love you deserve. And when the time comes, you'll have the clarity and the confidence to make the choice that's right for you. The question is, when they finally see your worth, will you still be waiting?